Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, September 28. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has signed agreements with 11 private entities to administer COVID-19 vaccines free of cost to the public. The signing took place on Monday and activates measures by the government to expand the number of vaccination sites, reduce overcrowding, and to facilitate a timely and efficient operation at locations. There are currently 55 fixed sites across the island to support the national vaccination program. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the move is also to vaccinate more than 65% of the population by March 2022 to achieve herd immunity against the disease.
Today we have probably 7 to 8% of our population fully vaccinated, another 17 or 18% with at least one dose, and over 700,000 jabs delivered in the arms of Jamaicans. And that represents progress, but clearly the ideal scenario would be to have achieved the 65% if we could.
Prior to Monday's signing, the government indicated its intention to collaborate with private health facilities such as private hospitals, health centers, doctors' offices and pharmacies, as well as with faith and community-based organizations to support the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccines.
All the things that we do at the national arena or the other locations, these entities will have to comply with it. So it's not a different system. It's the same system, same standard, but additional outlets. And these entities would have met those requirements.
The contracted entities will administer the vaccines provided by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. They are required, among other things, to process vaccination registration, maintain vaccine records and documentation, and provide fully vaccinated individuals with a completed and certified Ministry of Health and Wellness vaccination card. In other related news, government has begun work to establish a system of verifying the validity of vaccination status of Jamaicans. The move comes amidst reports that the vaccination status of inoculated Jamaicans traveling abroad is not recognized.
If you needed to travel and you went to you arrived into the foreign country and you presented your card, we will develop the appropriate system to ensure that there is the ability to validate that card. So your country, your destination of travel, will be able to verify on the Jamaican database that your vaccination is accurate and appropriate and validated. So whilst there are concerns, I wish to reassure the country that the way in which Jamaica has gone about its vaccination program places us in good standing for this kind of validation to take place.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was addressing journalists on a recent vaccination blitz in Trelawney. Mr. Holness also sought to reassure Jamaicans that the island's vaccination program meets the highest standards.
It is not the vaccine. What the countries that are starting to place these requirements are saying is that they want to be certain about our vaccination process. And they want to be sure that if someone turns up at their border to say, hey, here is my vaccination card, that this card is not a fake or a fraudulent card, that they are able to verify that you actually got vaccinated.
A contract valued at $141.5 million to construct a classroom block at the Black River High School in St. Elizabeth has been approved by Cabinet. Minister of Education Favour Williams says the new block represents Phase 2 of expansion works at the institution. According to Minister Williams, another contract in the amount of $107 million has been approved to supply and distribute grade 6 language arts and science workbooks to students under the primary textbook program for the 2021-2022 academic year. Cabinet also approved a similar contract to supply math books to primary school students.
Cabinet gave approval for the award of a contract for the supply and distribution of mathematics workbooks for grade 5 and 6 students at primary schools under the primary textbook program for the 2021-2022 academic year in the amount of $110,532,960, and this contract was awarded to Book Zone Limited.
Minister Williams was speaking at the recently held post-cabinet digital media briefing. The Disabilities Regulations will be tabled in Parliament for consideration by members following Cabinet's approval. The regulations will bring into operation the Disabilities Act, which was enacted in 2014. It will also strengthen the capacity of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities to effectively perform its mandate in accordance with the Act.
Jamaica has always advocated for greater protection for persons with disabilities and was one of the first countries to ratify the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in 2007. In accordance with the convention, Jamaica was required to ensure that the principles of the convention were implemented into domestic law, which was done through the enactment of the Disabilities Act of 2014.
The Act seeks to promote, protect, and ensure equal enjoyment by persons with disabilities. It also promotes equality of privileges, interests, benefits, and treatment. The Ministry of National Security is purchasing closed-circuit television CCTV cameras to enhance surveillance in correctional facilities. Minister without portfolio in the ministry, Senator Matthew Samuda, says government is building out an Information Communication Technology ICT plan for the Department of Correctional Services, the DCS. This plan will look at computer networking, communications, surveillance, and connectivity. Minister Samuda says the ICT outlay is valued at approximately 30 million Jamaican dollars per institution. It will include creating internal networks, a monitoring room at the Horizon Adult Remand Center, and a monitoring center at the DCS headquarters.
The first priority of the plan is to push forward the rollout of the network infrastructure at all DCS facilities and offices. Currently, just about half these locations have adequate computer networks installed. As a result, vital information and data must still be recorded and stored in hard copy. The inefficiency in terms of physical space and time spent searching through files for information cannot be overemphasized. Thus, the focus placed by the government on adequately equipping DCS to record and access this information digitally.
Minister Samuda says the ministry's security strengthening project, funded through the Inter-American Development Bank IDB, is funding the procurement and installation of CCTV cameras. He was making his contribution to the State of the Nation debate on Friday. And finally, a new family and probate division of the Supreme Court has been established to hear matters related to divorce, division of property, child custody, and maintenance. The new division, which became operational this month, is designed to improve efficiency and case clearance rates for matters involving the family. 2 judges have also been assigned to the division. With some of these matters being heard in the High Court Division of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Brian Sykes says the ministry is now aiming to have all related cases completed within the standard 24-month time frame. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.